Has the Yellowstone TV show reawakened your love of the American West? Well, this is it, Yellowstone country. Say hi to Cody, Wyoming. On today's episode, we are going to explore Cody and nearby environs, show you how to get great wildlife photos, and show you what to do and photograph in Cody beyond wildlife. So this is the part of the episode where I always say, hey, I'm shooting everything on the same camera that you have, a smartphone, because you don't need big expensive gear anymore to get great shots. And that's true unless you're trying to shoot wildlife, which are further away, and you need a good zoom lens to get closer to the action. The smartphones have gotten a lot better, the modern iPhones and Pixels and Galaxies, and the telephoto will get you a little closer, but not as close as you want to get. I am doing this episode, a lot of the shots on the Sony RX10 IV. This is it's got a compact 24mm to 600mm lens, which is fantastic. It's pretty much the ultimate camera for compact wildlife shooting. This is the town that was named and formed after Mr. Buffalo Bill Cody himself, the 1800s-era showman who envisioned this town as a gateway to the then-new Yellowstone National Park. Lower cost than Jackson.
Yep.
Right? Less people.
Of course.
Beautiful surrounding.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Wildlife. It's easier to fund it, actually.
It is.
Than some of the other places, right?
That's right. Yeah, we're very close to basically Lamar Valley, where 75% of all the wildlife for Yellowstone basically reside.
All right. Well, let's go on a wildlife shoot, huh? Now, while in Cody, I was lucky enough to meet up with the great local photographer Amy Gerber, whose photos of bears, wolves, and other wildlife are hanging at the Open Range Image Gallery in town. She joined me on a wildlife shoot where I got some pretty amazing shots of a huge grizzly bear, a giant bison staring me down, a fox on the side of the road, and a neck-rotating owl on a tree. Amy has some great tips for you on how to get some pretty incredible wildlife shots that I bet you haven't heard.
For photography, I think being in your vehicle gives you an advantage because the wildlife ignores you because they're used to, like, a lot of these animals that live in areas where roadways run through, they're used to the roadway. They're used to seeing cars go by. They know that they're not threatening them. But again, when you become a two-legged walker on the planet, in their presence, you become a threat to them.
And like Ryan said that we could, well, we didn't actually have to enter Yellowstone to get our wildlife shots.
Like the one thing that I think tourists should know is if you come to Cody and you're going to go to Yellowstone from Cody, you don't have to get all the way to Yellowstone to appreciate the wildlife and the natural beauty of the area. So that 52-mile drive between Cody and the east entrance to Yellowstone National Park is some of the most scenic, most wildlife-rich areas in the lower 48 state. Like it's perfect.
And how would one do shooting wildlife with a smartphone?
I think a smartphone is tough. I mean, that's my opinion, but I'm a professional photographer. So, and I say that only because I think for landscapes, it's great. Like a smartphone, I mean, they're smart and they can do amazing things. And so I think you can capture the beauty of the landscape quite well. Wildlife, it's a little trickier because wildlife, especially when you're outside the park, is not habituated to the presence of people. And so a smartphone just inherently requires you to have to be a little closer. And, we have wildlife here that is not safe to be close to. So you have to respect the wildlife. It's really important that you give them the space that they need to feel safe, to get the shot that fills the frame, that people see in the magazine. Like, you have to get too close. So capturing an animal in its natural habitat, perfect with a smartphone. To get that portrait shot, I think a smartphone makes it tough.
Invest in a camera before you come to Cody if you want to photograph wildlife. Renting cameras is very easy. LensRental.com, not a sponsor of this episode, but a great service to work with. You can pick up a camera with a good lens for $200 to $300. A photo like this of the bear, what do you think? Worth it or not?
Look at the bears! Look at the bears! Look at the bears! Sheesh!
Okay, now that we've got that straight and you've got a great camera, how are you going to find these bears? Well, it's not hard. Just look for the bear jam.
It is one of the fastest and easiest ways to find your bear is to look for all the people. Driving through Yellowstone first thing in the morning, last thing in the late afternoon, early evening, and usually in spring and fall are the best times to see bear activity.
Do you watch people struggling when they get off the bus with their phones trying to get a great shot of bears?
Yes, I think that's something that I've noticed in the last probably 7 years is this shift from traditional cameras to phone cameras. I think it's one thing that's causing a little bit of inappropriate behavior in our quest to get that shot.
Well, how do they behave inappropriately with their phone?
So getting too close, I think that a lot of people in watching their phone don't realize how close they're getting to the animal. Also, they want to see the quality of image that they see online or in National Geographic or some of the published literature, and not realizing that our phones aren't equipped with those capabilities. No, you're not going to get that YouTube professional photographer photo, but you are going to have an experience.
There are 5 entrances to the huge 2.2 million acre Yellowstone Park, and Cody will deliver you to the East Gate, which is said to be the most heavily populated with wildlife. Now, the most popular attraction at Yellowstone, the Old Faithful Geyser, it's a 2-hour drive from Cody, and it's closest to the Gardiner, Montana entrance. Meanwhile, post-wildlife in Yellowstone, what else to do and photograph in Cody? Well, how about a nice photo walk through the cute, historic downtown? It dates back to the city's founding in 1896 by William Cody, known as Buffalo Bill, and some business partners who envisioned the next Denver due to Yellowstone's new popularity. They just didn't foresee how tough it might be to actually get here. Now, Sheridan Avenue is the main street, and it's filled with cafes, restaurants, and many great Western shops. Dig those vests and boots? Now, just walk from one end of Sheridan to the other and have fun with the side streets, too. The main attraction is the historic Irma Hotel, named after Cody's daughter, and its beautiful ballroom and long historic bar. Now, how do you like this vintage cash register from another era? Each night during the summer, they stage a classic gunfight just like they used to have back in the Wild West days, right in front of the Irma Hotel. Walk down Sheridan all the way and you will get to the Buffalo Bill Center, a complex with 5 museums that tell the story of Buffalo Bill and Native Americans in the area. Beyond photo walking and wildlife, other photo and activity ops include fishing, biking, hiking, off-roading, and my favorite summer activity, whitewater rafting down the Shoshone River. Now, photo tip, you know how I always remind you that your late model smartphone is water resistant? Take me seriously, because this is a great place to get your camera wet and pick up all those fantastic splash shots in both stills and video.
Oh no! Oh
Beyond the wildlife shoot, Amy also brought us to a great out-of-the-way back road just out of town where we got to pose for remote selfies and have my DJI Mini 4 drone follow us down the road. Now that was fun. Photo tip, back roads make for some incredible photos, and you don't need a big camera. Just open up your eyes and get inspired by the beauty around you. While we were touring, we happened to see this great cowboy, authentic-looking cowboy in all the right clothes on the side of the road, and we pulled off, and I asked him nicely if he wouldn't mind pose, and he was very gracious and agreed to do it, and there lies your photo tip. When you see a photo op, go for it. When you see somebody that you want to photograph, walk up to him and her, ask. The worst that could happen is they would say no. The best outcome, of course, is that they'll say yes. And I couldn't be happier. He even pulled out his horse and posed with the horse. How cool is that?
When you come to the West, you think of rodeo, this is the spot. Nothing says cowboy and cowgirl and the Wild West more so than a good old-fashioned rodeo. Cody happens to call itself the rodeo capital of the world, and with good reason. This rodeo right here goes all summer long. I was lucky enough to get some prime seats at the rodeo on opening night, and with my camera and the telephoto lens, I got some really great shots. Take a look. Now back to your photography. Cody has incredible skies, and you know what that means? Time lapse and watching the clouds fly by. Now this is really easy to do on your phone. Just place it atop a tripod with a phone mount. Open the camera app on your iPhone or Galaxy and choose the Timelapse app, which Samsung calls Hyperlapse, and let it roll for at least 30 minutes. For more information, check out the many time-lapse how-to videos right here on this channel. Finally, let's close with that one definitive Cody postcard shot. Is it a bear? Is it a peak? What would it be? You know, when locals are coming back home from anywhere else, the first thing that they see when they know they're back home again is that profile of heart mount. I would say that would be the number one shot. That's the way you know you're coming back home. You're back in Park County. You're in Cody when you see that gorgeous peak of heart mountain. Oh. I'm Jefferson Graham. Stay tuned for more episodes from the West. We have all the great states covered here: Utah, Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, you name it. Meanwhile, if you haven't done it already, please do me a favor, like, share, comment. Please subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on the next photo walk, everyone. Bye-bye.